Hello, everybody. Once again, I am back to discuss going to the train station. My last video was about going to the park and, the goods and the bads about that. This one is about the train station. Many of us are not happy about going to the train station. But what are we going to do about it? What are we going to do about it? Many of us that's watching this video have families, husbands, wives, children, parents to take care of, grandchildren to take care of. So we're between a rock and a hard place. Even though right now you're mad and your next thought is to resign. Oh, I'm going, as soon as 1PP open up, I'm leaving, I'm going to resign. But you don't have to wait for 1PP because the borough is open if you really wanted to resign. And instead of taking those drastic measures, let's try this on for size. I'll wait until you're ready. Let's form together and get away from our union. Let's try that for size. This is the perfect time than any other time to say enough is enough. Just like we're tired and protesting in the streets now, and enough is enough, enough is enough. Enough is enough. We have to come together and we have to generate grievances, generate petitions, come together and do what we need to do in order to get a union that will support us. We are fully aware at this time, it's 5:30 p.m. and no one has got a call from the union. No one, none of us. None of us. Not the grievance rep that's in the borough, not the business agent. No one has answered our calls and none of them has called us back. None of them have called us back. They have cut off their phones. So is that not a sign? Now, I understand that some of you are scared or fearful of losing your annuity. You cannot lose your annuity if we leave our current union. You cannot lose it. That is a tactic that they use in order to keep us bound. But you cannot lose your annuity. And the many of you that are fearful of you losing your annuity have no idea that when it's time to withdraw from the annuity, because you've been promoted, you resigned, you're retired, they take 30% off the top. They take 30% off the top. They take 30% off the top. So that's just like if you worked for a company or you worked today and your boss gives you $100 bill as your wage. And then he says, well, you know what? Give me 30 of that back. You go home with 70. Even though you put in the work for 100, they take $30 and you go home with 70. See, the church, God don't even ask for that much. God don't even ask for that much. He only asks for 10%. But our union requires 30% off the top. Some of us don't know that. If we decide to go to another union or another union picks us up, the money has to be transferred over. Now, do I agree with them having some type of fee or whatever the case is? Yes. But 30% is outrageous and is uncalled for. 2%, 4%, 5%, I can deal with that. But not 30%. No. And if you guys are okay with that, then fine. There's nothing I can really do or say about where you prefer to go home with after you've worked 30, 40 years. Now is the perfect time to any to remember how we're being treated, how we're being bent over a barrel, and it's okay. We need to remove ourselves from the union at this point. And I know there's many of their union lovers. There's dozens and dozens of union lovers that are watching this video that are friends with me on these social sites. And they're going to bring it back to the union. And I don't care. Because enough is enough. If there's anyone that agrees with me, because my phone has been ringing off the hook, so I know that there's people that agree. If you agree with me, we need to come together and we need to think of a master plan. And the first order of business is finding a new union. It's finding a new union. In the meantime, in between time, I do believe that this year is an election year for the union. I'm not quite sure. So, don't 100% judge me, but I believe this year is a voting year for the union. We must get those ballots whenever it is. Get the ballots and check no. Do not answer the ballot because that's a vote in their favor. When you do not mark yes or no, you don't even send it back in, it's a mark in their favor. And many of you that's been on the job as long as I have, double digits, 15 years, I have 15 years, we've seen all of the tricks that they have done in order to stay in business. We've seen it. We've seen it. We've been involved. We've seen it. And something has to change. Something has to change. We cannot keep the union because they tell us, oh, we're going to give you a lawsuit. We put in for a lawsuit. Don't worry about it. A lawsuit. You're going to get money. Don't worry about it. Everything is going to be great. A lawsuit. Everything cannot be about money. Even though money is great and that's how we eat, but what about our dignity? What about our livelihoods? What about our families? We're still having agents die due to corona. Still, family are still dying. Family members are still dying due to corona. And we're still out in these positions and we're still out on these poles. If we're going to be law enforcement and have these peace officer status and these job titles and these job requirements, then we need a union to handle us. We need a union that can effectively handle us if this is our new capacity. Moving forward, will they or can there be layoffs? Most definitely. Most definitely. Some of us are realizing that the remote learning works better for our children. Some of our children are being bullied in school and they rather be home. I follow a Mommy and Me page on Facebook, and the amount of parents that are happy that this happened because they see a difference in their children because their children were being bullied, it might work. They might say, you know what, in September, we don't need school safety at all because the remote learning is working at home. So we just might not need school safety. So yeah, we might get laid off and we might be furloughed. Some of us might be terminated. And some of us might resign. However the case is, if we're going to go down, we got to go down fighting. At least I know I am. At least I know I am. We got to go down fighting. And there has to be a change. We have to vote, just like, many of you dislike Trump and so adamant about going to the polls to fight and vote on June 8th, I believe. For certain cities, June 23rd and things like that. Certain states, certain cities, different dates. But just like we're adamant about that for America, we have to be adamant about that within our own workplace. We have to be. So I just wanted to put this video out there because I received the phone calls all day and all afternoon about going to the parks and what are we going to do? What are we going to do? I know what I want to do. But what are we going to do? Because there's strength in numbers. So if you're legit about being upset and enough is enough, join me. Join us. Join all of the people that are tired at this point. Join us and not be against us. If you're not with this movement, okay, fine, no problem. Stay over there. Don't interrupt what we're trying to do, because ultimately you will benefit from it. So again, as I always leave my disclaimers, I'm going to make this video shareable as like the other one. And if at any time anyone wants to discuss anything with me about this video, as always, I will always have time for anyone that wants to discuss it. And I want everyone to have a great weekend. For those that got the notifications to go to the park on to go to the train stations on Monday. You know, I'm praying for all of us in light blue. I'm praying for all of us in light blue that we're out in the street. I'm praying for us. I want all of us to be safe. Do what you need to do to remain safe. I don't know about your academy, but in my academy, the goal was to go home the same way I came to work. And I plan to uphold that. Train station, park, school building, whatever. I plan to go home the same way I came to work. And I encourage everyone to do the same thing. So continue to be blessed, y'all. Don't let this ruin your wonderful weekend. It's supposed to be nice this weekend. Don't let this notification or this news ruin your weekend. Come together, discuss it, think of a plan, and let's get it working. I love you guys. Bye.